YouTube s&djr. This is just a little update video of what I've been doing. So yeah, just gonna move on now. I'll show you down at this end here first. I'll go the other way around. Last thing you saw, I believe, was the track was I just laid a bit of track down. But I've now done everything to make the helixes the correct height and quite solid. So as you can see, there's just a bar going across here. This does two things. One, it obviously holds the helix up, and two, it attaches the two boards together and stops them wobbling around too much, which was a problem until I did that. As in, this one was a problem that I sorted. The track goes obviously around the helix and down. Now, I've lost my tape measure, but I can tell you the gap in here is 2 3/4 of an inch to there. When it gets to here, the gap is 3 inches, which is big enough. But the only thing you have to remember is that the space here, there's about an inch of gap between the actual board and the underside of this one. So that's the reason why I couldn't make it any shallower, because there wouldn't have been the gap, the distance under here. So it's as shallow as I can get it. It's about correct. It may be very, very slightly too steep, but I'm not going to be running very long trains on here, as there physically isn't enough room to run long trains on here. Sort of maybe 3 coaches is the biggest sort of I'll be running, but we'll see how that goes. So yeah, now I've put in a bit more baseboard. This is the lower down one, as you can see in front of me. Now you can see approximately how the track will sit, if I get that out of the way. It will come round here and it will sit about there with a point in the middle. Now that point there will have a piece of track going off the back here underneath, under all of this, and it will go around to this stuff over here, but that's all to be done later. Yeah, behind the speaker track there'll be a hill, meet up with a little hill up there, and that there will hopefully hide it all in quite neatly. It should be okay. So yeah, I managed to stand on a screw. Underneath here, I believe I've showed you this before, just turn on the light. Obviously the track, when it's attached down properly, will sit in between the two here. A bit of flexi track to link one end to this end here, where I've been working on the other side. I gave it a little test run with the controller, just to check that the track I've placed down so far is working, and it seems to be okay. Anyway, yeah. Yeah, this piece here is part of the helix. A little bit of adjustment needed here to attach these two solidly together. Either just a screw or a block of wood or something underneath to hold it. This all then needs filing down flat, and the track will run basically just catching the corner of this right down the middle. This helix going around is all fit up. Now this here again is solid, and that's not moved anywhere, and again it's set to the correct depth, height and all that sort of stuff that I believe I need to make this work. And again, at this point here there's a 3-inch gap between the track and the top, so the train has plenty of clearance to get through. So yeah, that's what I've been doing on the baseboard. Now the next sort of thing I'm going to be doing is actually running my bus wire. Now you can just see the start of it under there. I had to stop because I need to find some way of attaching it down to the baseboard. At the moment it's just hanging loose. But so far it's going about halfway around the top board, just from here, just to right underneath the edge of the helix, just under there somewhere. I don't think you can quite see it, you see it hanging down actually. That's how far I've got at the moment. Now I am going to be running obviously positive and negative. I've got a red wire somewhere for the positive. Red and black, very easy to work with, so I'm just going to keep using that. Obviously you need a soldering iron. I went out and brought myself, not the cheapest one on the shelf, but not the most expensive. Hopefully that'll be absolutely perfect for what I'm doing. Obviously then I picked up some solder, which I will be getting a bit more of this. Here, this is very, very fine electrical solder for small connections. So when I make if I change any locos from DC to DCC, this is the stuff which I'll be using. It's a bit finer, a lot more easier to work and heat up, and less damage. But anyway, yeah. Right, okay, scenery on top wise. Now I finished my turntable. It's going to be sitting approximately there. The only thing it needs to do, it needs to be pushed into the board. Now, what I'm going to do is cut out a hole in the board that the diameter of the circle will be the same as the length of this top piece up here. So that's the sort of size which I'm going to be working at. I'll then, underneath it, I'll then pack in some wood underneath all this. The dark green, it looks black on the camera, but the dark green here will then be placed on wood, and that will create depth in these two pieces here, which I'll be able to add scenery to, sort of bushes, things like that, bit of gravel, soot, dirt, that sort of stuff in there. I think it'll look alright. Coming back now, these 2 points here are quite good condition actually. They both work fine, they both conduct electricity very well. The only one thing is this one is missing one of the little springs, so I'm going to find one of my broken ones and make this work. But anyway, yeah, that's all attached down, that will sit exactly there. It will then be glued in place or nailed. Generally I glue it in place, only because it's quite hard to find. For instance, this piece of track here was ripped up from the old piece, and the track pin holes have broken, so I found gluing it is a very good way of getting around it. But yeah, a few broken sleepers, and this is a second-hand point. There's a few broken sleepers. Fortunately, there's 1 or 2 broken at the front here, but I found a way to get around that. If I just attach it, and maybe cut it slightly shorter, which I did, and then attach it to the old rail, it seems to hold itself in the correct place. I've run a train over it many times, and it seems to be okay, just when it's falling backwards. So yeah, that's alright. Yeah, so see what I've been doing. Well, not much down this end actually. I've done a bit more sanding on this here, made it look a bit more smoother, and there's still a little bit of sanding to do here, which I'll do later on. There's my crane, which you saw me do in another video. Now the only thing that's missing is I need to change this wagon here for a low level low loader instead. Moving round, I've done a little bit of work here. As you can see just there on the end, I've created a bush there, sort of growing out of the tree. Now 2 things. One, it covers up the corner, because you used to be able to see the join between the 2 fence posts. 2, it obviously adds a bit more detail. Now I've done the same here. That there was to cover up the wall and the fence. I'll show you the walls in a minute. That was to cover up the end of the wall between the fence, for the same reason, to hide it a bit more detail, a bit more greenery. Now obviously all the way along that fence there's going to be some bushes. Going to be one more almost bang in the middle, and then down this side here, as you can see, actually right at the back there, in the middle of the screen, you can see what looks like a bush. Now actually underneath that there's a block of white polystyrene. You probably have never seen that before, because I never showed it to you before. But when I was moving this up here, I managed to just break off one of these trees. So I found the easy way to fix was get a small block of polystyrene, a nail, and then just attach the original tree into it. And then all I did is, as I said, covered it up with this green to create sort of like an overgrown bush sort of hanging around a tree. But anyway, I think it's actually come out alright. It looks quite good. Now all of the back, the wall you see at the back is white. I'm hopefully going to put a backing there of some form, either attach it to the board or just blue tack it to the wall, just to see how it goes. But yeah, as I was saying, I did some work over here. I finished off my cornfield now, which I think looks alright, quite good. I don't think it looks very bad at all. Now, I went to my local model shop, and they had run out of these wooden, wood-looking fences. When I asked him when they're coming in, he said they're coming in a few weeks' time, so if I do want them, I'll have to go back. But when I had a look round, I saw these walls here, and I didn't think it looked too bad. They look, when I put them next to each other, they didn't look too bad at all. They look like, just a wall meeting a fence in a field. When it came to me, it was just a light grey colour, and I had to add all this grass on the top. That was done with a very fine paintbrush and a bit of glue attached. Put the glue on place, not just everywhere, and then sprinkled over the top was some static grass. And I've done that all the way around. Bit of modification needed on the end. I cut this here at about a 45-degree angle to make it run flush with the wall behind. I think that works okay. Alright then. So now the things I've been doing is I've been adding a bit more detail around the bridge, a bush here and here, and round there. I've also done a bit of ballasting of the track all the way down here, up to there. The bridge will be kept wooden like it is, but the rest of it's been ballasted. It looks quite good. Now the track needs a little bit of weathering doing to it. I'm hopefully going to get this sort of look the whole way around the track. As you can see, there's a bit of greenery between the rails. I think it looks alright, so I'm hoping to get that on the whole way of the track. But the other thing I did was, as you can see, that I started doing some static grass there. Now I need a proper static grass applicator to do the large meadow grass, so this is a base layer, and then I'll put another layer on top, and hopefully it'll look alright. I've also done some static grass along here, along that side of the track, all the way up to there. I believe that looks alright actually. Sorry about that. Now, if you remember my hill from earlier, I did a little video or series on, I said I was going to put static grass, long meadow grass on it when I had the applicator. Fortunately I don't, so when I thought about it, I thought I'm going to split it in half, quite literally with a fence. Now the fence is going to run around up the side here, around the back, and it will meet up with it at this fence here, at which point it will come all the way across the fences and down. Now that there will have some sheep or animals in this part closest to us, and that there is more like eaten grass it's being eaten down to a lower level. Now the rest of it will be up to meadow level. There'll be a bit of meadow grass placed in here as well. It looks a bit thin, just right in the middle of the camera. It's a bit thin there, so it could do with a bit more longer grass there, maybe a little bit around the bottom, around the side. But yeah, as you can see now, you get a look of that work I did with the paths earlier. You can see how it looks like it's been trampled down. It's a different colour, and yeah, I think it looks quite good. Other than that, I haven't done much more on the scenery. Two reasons for that. One, I've been playing the new COD, so yeah, I did that yesterday evening, so I didn't really have any time to do any of this. So yeah, and also I've been doing a little bit of looking on the internet, and I'm planning on going down to the Exeter Toy and Train Fair Saturday coming up. Hopefully down there they've got about 100. They said about 100 trade stands, and hopefully on there I'll be able to pick up maybe some of the track I need, maybe a bit of scenery. Hopefully I'll be able to get 1 or 2 new locos, maybe some wagons and stuff like that. And I just hope that it'll be worth me going down there. So maybe on Saturday or Sunday I'll do a little video of what I buy, if I buy anything, and I'll upload it and show you, and maybe tell you what it was like. If you are thinking of going, I've never been to one before, so I'll just give a little, tell you what they're like and sort of if they're worth going or not. So yeah, thanks for watching this. If you haven't checked out my channel, please do. I've done quite a few videos on there now of lots of different things. How I build the railway. I've done a few little reviews on there as well. So if you go and check out my channel, you can see all those. While you're there, if you feel like it, please subscribe to my channel. And if you have any comments about this video, please leave them below. Alright, thanks for watching.